Fellas, coming to you live from Crypto.com. Pregame show at the Missin Curfew Fella Tour. We got the whole squad here. Updog, Richie Fella, Jay Swish, Obs. Boys, how we doing? Cocktails flying. Nice little team meal. We're ready. I don't know if the Oilers are ready for game 2, but we're ready.
What a meal.
Hey,
what a spread.
What a spread.
You're hungry there, Rich, eh?
Stroke me out from there.
Now it's on to the cocktails, boys. It's cocktails and maybe a little psychedelic maybe for the match.
Yeah, a little micro.
And then
micro into the macro.
And then I'm boxing you out here. Sorry.
You're all right. Yeah. Stay on.
Yeah, that'll boy. Give me
Let it breathe.
And then it's just let's go oil.
Yeah. I'm all in. I'm all in on the oil.
So
Ups. We're riding it.
Am I the only one
Now
cheering for the
listen-
Kings?
I haven't bet the game yet. I'll probably take the over.
Take the over.
Well, if
That's
Bouchard,
good to cheer for.
if Bouchard plays, is he going to play 30 minutes? Because if he is, I'll take the over. My God.
What is the over? Is it
It's
DraftKings
probably
6.5,
fucking
7.5?
9. I don't know. Check it. What
It's
is
gotta
it?
be 6.5.
It's gotta be
Oh,
6.5.
it's got to be 6.5 on the DraftKings Sportsbook. Let's go game 1 recap. Obviously, listen, we just heard a rumor that Evander Kane showed up. Uppy, it was your break that.
No,
news.
I mean,
Break
listen, boys. He came down the ramp here at Crypto.com Arena in a brand new red Ferrari.
And just for the people at home, they're staying right across the street of the JW Marriott. It's like left there, but what a statement.
Boom, boom. Yes. So
Better play well.
I'm actually one is it odd move, right? Odd move. Game 2, first game back, all playoffs. You want to feel good story, right? Most guys put on a nice suit, maybe their nice pair of shoes, put on the tune, come in off the bus, first bus, second bus. This guy takes a brand new Ferrari in, and I didn't even know you had a parking spot in the visiting.
I don't even know how he got that.
How do you?
Where's he coming from?
JW.
The JW's right there. So
Yeah.
are you going valet to valet, driving it literally
2 blocks?
It's
400
not even
feet?
2 blocks. It's you walk to the rink. It's
Can you?
30
Is
seconds.
it even legal to drive
No.
in that certain limit?
I don't
Do you
think
think
so.
he
It's all
told?
blocked
Do you
off.
think he told 97 what he was going to do?
No chance. He
Do you
told no
think-
one.
No. Yeah, no chance.
That's how you make it about yourself.
I know,
right?
It's crazy, but I actually don't mind the storyline tonight because it's going to create a little more than his own team. I think it fucks up LA.
Yeah,
I think.
They're like, this guy's got to be just a wingbat if he's trying. If he hasn't played all year, he showed up in Ferrari. Look out what this guy's going to do tonight.
I just think.
they're like, Dewey, is that your new Ferrari?
Yeah.
Whose
No,
it is?
it's
They're like,
Kane's.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, it's pretty.
They let him drive it down the ramp. You think?
Yeah, so I guess TNT's got it on camera and everything.
Did
It's
he?
going to be a full thing.
I was
yeah.
just going to say, I bet you he lined up TNT saying, like, hey, I'm going to be pulling in. I'm
coming in hot.
coming in
Be
hot.
ready.
Avery style in Calgary when he's like, hey, boys, I got something to say here. And they rolled the cameras. But, I mean, so they got him on TNT coming in the fucking Ferrari. That's actually kind of a flex. As much as I want to bag on Kane.
No, it is.
Yeah.
But
This is the entertainment business,
Right?
As much as I hate it, now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Maybe more eyes are on hockey now because this dude's rolling up in a Ferrari that he drove 300 feet away from his hotel where he was staying. What's the daily rate on that Ferrari, by the way? What is it?
he just
$1,000
bought-
an
he
hour?
bought
He
it.
bought
I
it?
He got it on
He
Turo.
took it off the lot?
No, I bet you he got it on Turo. I bet you it's a Turo rental.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of those people rent them.
The fuck is Turo?
Turo?
Yeah.
It's an app you can rent like nice cars per day anywhere. It's like it's the Uber or Airbnb for cars. Yeah, it's pretty good.
You can rent your car out, Opes.
If I'm anywhere on vacation, the last thing I need is a car. Yeah. That's just how you get a Dewey. If I'm on vacation, I'll just stick to the Ubers. But I didn't know there was that app. That's nice touch.
I like he did that, but play well. If you play well, I don't care what you do.
I want to ask you guys from that perspective as forwards, right? Me and Swish here, D-man, D-to-D, hit the middle. Hasn't played all year. Sure, he's been skating. But what can you really expect from this guy coming in here? Like, if you haven't played a regular season game, you're jumping into game 2. What do you think you can expect as a forward? It's a tough question.
I think no matter what, he's going to provide the team a little jam.
Yeah.
Whether he's 70%, whether he's 95%, I think the Edmonton Oilers miss Evander Kane. And I just think for the Oilers down 1, playing a run and gun game. Obviously, they're banged up. Ekholm is the big reason why. I think the tides have switched to LA this series, right? Like the lines are obviously showing this. But Evander Kane's gonna come in and make a splash. Like, is he gonna go after some of the Fialas and stuff and play a big game? It's to be seen, but I don't mind him back in the lineup, boys, because he's effective in the playoffs, as we all know.
He is, but for him, I would guess you're probably just going to keep it simple first game. Go chip it in, go hit some guys, stir it up, make them put Tanner Janot in the lineup maybe next game.
Yeah, why is he not in the
Something
lineup?
Well, they like this Malott,
Yeah.
Malott kid, and they like if anyone goes in, it should be Trevor Lewis. But
No, I agree,
it's
but
a bonehead move. But
yeah,
that's
I agree.
he can stir it up, and the general might have to come in and take care of that if it gets to that. But Patrick, keep saying Patrick Kane.
Evander Kane.
Evander Kane's an effective player. Let's be honest.
How are the legs going to be feeling though?
I was just thinking, what about he hasn't played a game?
Like, how are the hands?
What is he feeling fresh? Like might be, but his game's not finesse. But if his body feels good, he's been in good shape. He's been working out.
I guarantee he's got a fresh haircut.
Fresh haircut.
Fresh lineup.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
line right up.
I'm expecting big things out of him. I don't know why. I mean, I used to hate playing. I wanted to kill him when I played against him, but I'm expecting him to bang and crash and get on the forecheck and disrupt the Kings breakout, and they need him. I mean, you couldn't have Jeff Skinner in there. So here's the lines. Projected lines, boys, tonight is they put the big updog. They put the two big boys together. Draisaitl, McDavid, Perry, Kane, Hopkins, Hyman, Frederick, Henrik, Brown, Podkolzin, Janmark, Arvidsson.
It's tin. Doesn't it get thin down the lineup?
I mean, veteran lineup.
Which means thin.
And then on the back end, we got Nurse, Bouchard, my God, Wallman, Klingberg, Kulak, who I expect Kulak to be better. He just had a kid. You guys would know about this. He missed practice. He had a kid. He flew in, not private. Well, maybe private. I don't know. I'm just assuming.
WestJet.
Yeah, that's what they would have flew me in. But I expect Kulak to be better, and they need him to be better. And this Emberson, this young kid, give him more ice time. They played him 10. Fucking throw him out there. Give him 15 to 17. He can't be any worse than Bouchard.
No.
Like defensively.
No, he can't be.
No.
No one could.
No.
I might go full. I might go full creamer Edmonton here today.
Wow, full creamer on the road.
You've heard it here.
Yeah.
Full
I don't
creamer.
know if I've ever done a full creamer on the road.
I'm
on the road
fucking
team.
thinking full creamer. I'm really lazy.
Flowers
like
is
it.
Larry Flowers in the
I
house.
like it.
Flowers has bet the Kings, so that makes me instantly think to take
Flowers
the
is
Oilers.
in the house.
To take the Oilers.
But if you
Let me see those teeth. Smile for me, fella. Look at those fucking
those are
chompers.
nice.
Can we get the camera on those chomper? Look at those
that is a
chompers.
nice set. Fuck, look at
Look
that
at
grill.
that. Look at that. What a guy.
What a guy. But I'm just thinking
Not
about
my chompers,
I'm just thinking
Flowers'
about Kane
chompers.
Ohms. Like, back to him.
Yeah.
Like, if you're playing with him, you tell him just go to the net. Just drive it through the middle of the ice. Just get to the net. Get behind these defensemen. Disrupt the play. Like, keep it simple. Think about if you took a year off of hockey, man.
Simple.
Whether you were practicing or not. Like, I don't expect him to be like. Is he going to be an X factor tonight? Like, I don't know. To me, no. But
make some hits.
right.
Stir it up.
He's going to have more of a fingerprint on the game than Jeff Skinner did in game one.
Well, yes.
Now, that's not saying a whole fuck of a lot.
The Mohawk specialist himself.
Yeah. Although I did see a clip of Skinner, Jeff Skinner that is, when McDavid tied it up. He did look like a really good team guy. He was like jumping up on guys and like, so maybe he's a good guy in the dressing room. So I'm pretty hard on this kid, but I'm glad you give me Evander Kane over Jeff Skinner. And, you know, me and Swiss were talking about their back end, and I'm excited just to have Klingberg in there from the Oilers' perspective. And that, you know, Klingberg isn't the player he was in Dallas, but another NHL guy at least that can make a play. I know his feet aren't what they used to be and his hips are mangled, but at least he can make a play. And I think it take some minutes away from Bouchard, which is Koff's biggest concern, I think.
No, mistakes are made when you're tired and when you're out there when you shouldn't be. And Bouchard just is too many minutes. It's, you know, it's tough to look at. I can't imagine being like McDavid, realizing that, you know,
Isn't that working?
where are our guys? Where is the help we need on the back end? Like, please, God, someone send me a defenseman. So, you know, Klingberg, listen, whether his hips, you know, you get that hip shaving injury, that repair, it takes a minute to come back.
For sure it does.
So hopefully, you know, the break, came back, played some games, wasn't perfect. Hopefully he's got his game back. Stepping in the playoffs against a fast LA Kings team that's kind of on a mission, right? Like, there's no question. Our boy Stoley Babe, who just jumped on with us, there's no question that LA's a team built for playoffs now, and a team built to play the Edmonton Oilers in the playoffs again. Yeah. So they got their hands full.
Yeah, I don't see how Edmonton can win unless McDavid and Draisaitl go off like they did every night without Ekholm, with that decor and shaky goaltending. Unless Skinner steps up his game, McDavid and Draisaitl put up 4 points tonight, they can't win this series. In my opinion, I think the Kings are too deep for them, and they're just going to keep grinding, and I think the Kings win again tonight.
Full creamer.
So Richie's got the Kings on DraftKings Sportsbook. Listen, I expect Stuart Skinner to be better. He hadn't played the end of the season. He looked a little rusty in there. We all know he's not going to make the athletic saves post to post and this and that, but just don't let the ones in that you're supposed to. And for me, Darcy Kempfer, who did you play with him in Scottsdale in Arizona?
In Arizona, yeah.
What are we doing with that?
Sorry.
Oh. I lost my train of thought, boys.
You're just
What do
thinking,
you think?
you're asking
Darcy.
if he played with
Darcy.
Darcy Kemper in AZ.
I thought Kemper showed his true colors there in the third period. I know it's McDavid, but he, like when you get one on Kemper, the floodgates can open. After the third period, it gave me hope for the Oilers. The first two period, I thought this was going to be a short series. I think the Oilers, I don't know. I think they might sneak this one out tonight.
For me, Kemps, I played with him for 3 years. He was probably our best player every year. It kept us alive in Arizona with not a real deep team. He kept us around the playoffs every year because he's just steady. I think he has a really good game tonight.
Yeah.
Again, we'll see what happens. It's all going to play out the way it does, but he's got a perfect team in front of him that's defense first. He usually makes the first save if he sees it, and I think he's going to have a big night. But, I think it's going to be a good game. And
Do you think he was ready to go into overtime last game?
Fuck no, he was shit. The shit was.
Oh, yeah.
The shit was running down his leg. I could see it. He was in one.
He pulled it off.
Yeah, he
They
did.
pulled
He
it.
did.
They pulled nothing off. It's full creamer tonight, Oilers, baby.
Let's see.
I like it.
I'm not going full cream.
I don't know about full cream pie, but I man, can you really bet against 97 and Draisaitl, especially playing together? I don't know, boys. Like, David, if they win, he's going for at least 1 and 2 or 2 and 1.
What are they playing? 27 minutes tonight.
At least, yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
no,
half, close to half the game with power plays for sure.
I'm excited to see live the licks the Kings are giving him. They got to give him a lick every time he's on. Just a little hack, throw him off stride.
Yeah.
This is the key to McDavid, is not letting him get in that gallop, and it's hard. You got to throw him off stride.
Isn't it funny too? We were talking about Rich before. Just Phil Deneau played against McDavid, and to his credit, for 45 minutes, played pretty well against him. But the guy still had 4 points.
I know.
Like, he found a way. He contained him fairly well.
He got 4 points,
and he still had 4.
He's the best player in the world, but that's
It's just so hard to bet against him.
He proved
I'm
again
not
with
betting against them. I said I'm
Yeah.
not betting against them. I'm betting against the rest of the team.
no, but he showed in that period and a half. We talked about the NHL players polls and all the boys voted for him. Like, why he's the best player in the world. Like, it was, to me, I was just like, I know I've seen him do it before, fellas, but I was like, wow, what just happened? Like, what did he just do here? Like, he just took this game. This game was
It's
over.
a snap of a finger.
That had to be like the best individual effort period you've seen in a while. Like, just 20 minutes, right, of play in at least recent memory of playoffs.
Game 5 of last year's Stanley Cup Final, when they went into Game 5, when they went back into Florida. After they won Game 4 in Edmonton, he went into Florida Game 5 and fucking put that whole team on his back.
Yep.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
End to end, and right after a 2-minute power play, he went end to end. I mean, that's Connor McDavid in a nutshell. When he's hungry and he hasn't got that cup yet, boys, this is where we are currently right now. Is Connor McDavid is hungry for a cup, and there's not the LA Kings going to stand in his way right now. Full creamer.
To me, full creamer. How are you? I think the biggest X factor is not Kane up front. It is the Oilers. They need more from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Yeah,
he's got to be better.
Have
He's
it-
got to play
have
harder.
something.
He needs
Bring
to
an
be.
identity.
Yeah, that especially just to solidify a top 6. You need that guy going. Like, that's a guy that had 100 points 2 years ago.
See, I don't expect much out of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I mean, that's just he is what he is. I'm sure he's a coach's dream because he's always in the right position. Great regular season player, had 100 points. But to me, over the years, he's proven that he just can't give his balls a tug this time of year.
Yeah.
And you're right. For the Oilers to win, they definitely need him. But in my opinion, I'm not expecting Ryan Nugent-Hopkins
So you're going Kings.
I'm puck committed.
No, he's going over.
I haven't
He's
betted.
the
I
over
took
six,
the Oilers
by
in
the way.
six.
It's the over
I'm gonna take
6,
that.
and it's even money. Yeah.
I'm going to take that.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that.
You're gonna hit that.
I think I'm going to hit that. I think I'm gonna hit that.
You'll touch that, eh?
Hey, I wanted to talk to you boys about, we mentioned Evander Kane. If there's one guy, if I'm in the Oilers dressing room and I'm like, Kaner, go talk to this Philip Deneau and get in his ear right away. Like, this is a guy you would love to have on your team. Like, some of his antics in front of the net there, I don't love, but this is a guy that I think the Oilers got to do something to get him going a bit and get push back to him because he's a big part of their hockey club.
Yeah, I agree with that. For me, it'd be Quentin Byfield. I think Byfield's going to have himself a series.
Yeah.
I would get in his young player's head. I would get in his head if it was me.
Kid's a stud, by the way.
He is a stud.
He's a stud.
This kid's going to be an unbelievable player.
I questioned him early, but wow, is he come into his own, confident, skates well, shoots the puck, has a knack for scoring. And he's a beast. He's a big boy. You see him like walking onto the bus with a 6 suit.
He hasn't filled out yet.
Hasn't filled out yet, has he, Rich? Hey?
Got the scout.
Still hasn't matured.
Check
He's got
his
his scout
shorts.
notes
He's in the
there.
parking lot doing
Check his
push-ups.
shorts.
I saw him earlier.
Yeah.
How about the picture they took after the game, too, when Byfield's pinching Fiala's nipples, too? Like, first of all, Rich, why are they taking pictures after one win? Is that just to sell the game, or is that just... It's excited,
It's a
or
new
is that
world.
is that the new
It's a new
NHL?
world,
Is that the new
baby.
NHL?
Content. They're creating content.
Okay, so we're just selling the game. I'm for that.
I
They're
miss it.
shaking Matty Martin's hand. They're taking pictures.
We're
of
gonna do a
it.
team photo in front of the Ferrari tonight after the game.
Do you think EK? Do you think he showed up with the red bottoms too? You got the the Christian Louis Vuittons with the red Ferrari. Is it red on
Probably.
red? For sure, right?
Yeah,
Well,
the only reason I know what those are is because I had to buy my girl a pair in London. That's the only
Yeah.
reason I know even what you're talking about.
bought
I'm
her a
sure-
Rolex too.
I'm sure he did, yeah. A stolen one, I'm sure.
I never got a certificate.
Off market, eh?
Never got the papers. Eh?
Yeah.
Isn't there supposed to be papers in this that says?
That's weird.
Yeah.
You know,
Why is this in crayon?
You signed that yourself?
Well, boys, I can't wait to get in there and watch it with you. Let's do our predictions here. We all know what the boy from Fort McMurray's got. The Updog's got the Oilers. Richie's got the Kings. He's already said that. Swishy, who you leaning towards, fella?
Yeah, I got. Well, you got to hit the over. 4-3 Oil.
Fuck, you took my I'm
4-3 Oil. It's going to be a gutsy one. I mean, they need it, boys. Like they really, if they're going to stay in this series, they really need this game.
I'm going to say 7-6 Oilers in a fucking good old-fashioned shootout. Kemper shits his shorts. Skinner just does enough. McDavid has whatever. I'm going Oilers 7-6. Take the over, boys.
All right, I'm cheering by myself tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you and Flowers.
To the
definitely
Kings,
like
thanks for having us, though. We
Hey,
appreciate it.
I
What
appreciate it.
an organization, eh? We got the Stanley Cup champ here, but boys, I can't wait to get in there and watch it with you. Fellas, coming to you live from pregame from thecrypto.com. Richie, Updog, obviously, and we got the legend, Stoley, babe. Jarrett Stoll, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thanks, boys. Nice to see you. Hang out up here for once and see what you guys do here.
I got to be honest with you. I walked in, saw a lot of statues. Where's your statue, buddy? I think Stoley needs a
no
statue.
sh-
I'm
no
not going to
kidding,
lie. I'm
no
not
kidding.
sugarcoating it. Where's the Stoley
I
statue?
think apparently it's coming.
Pride of Yorkton, Saskatchewan. I'd
Slow,
say,
you know?
yeah.
They're mad that Brownie has one, so they don't like Brownie. I said, Brownie's
They
our
don't know if they
captain.
just put a jersey on or they go with tarps off. I don't know.
exactly.
They're trying to make the decision right now.
I would have loved to play with Dustin Brown. As you guys know, you won cups with him, but playing against him, he was a little bit of a thorn in my side at times. So when I saw that he got a statue, me and Richie were going a little back and forth, and Richie just kept saying 2 cups. That's all he kept saying. 2 cups, captain. I
I
was
said,
like,
take Redders down. He didn't get any cups here.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
we didn't like
no,
that
it was I was like, okay. But Richie pulled out the old Stanley Cup ring for the boys
I
tonight.
like that. That's pretty classy. Yeah.
Where do you keep your pair? Do you wear them often, I guess, as well?
I don't. No,
No.
I don't. I don't feel like a lot of guys do. Right? You don't. Maybe the reunions you go back if you get together with the guys again. I know we did that with our reunions. We pretty much a lot of guys wore them, but yeah, it's not something you. They're so big, and sometimes they can be gaudy a little bit. And
Not even when you first got them, like right after you first won it, like you
We
wouldn't
wore
just.
him to like that first party. Remember we got him, Stoley, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
then the reunion. That was
Yeah.
it. And this is probably my
I think
third
I wore
time.
it to a wedding or two.
Did you?
Just yeah, I think I did.
Oh.
Chuck it on the
Little-
table.
little conversation
Line
piece.
up, line up,
Little
eh?
conversation piece. How you doing there? Where'd you get that? Oh, this. Don't worry about it.
The ring and some 8x10s there.
You want me to sign this for you?
He's got a Sharpie. Stoley looking good, bud. A nice
Thanks,
tie.
boys.
Do you go to
Yeah.
button one button down ever, or is it always button right up?
Yeah, no, I got a button her up.
buttoned
You gotta
up.
button
Usually
right
got a
up.
nice cashmere sweater over that usually.
I thought
Little
about it.
Gratz,
I was
little
like,
Gratz
thought about it, and I had it on. I knew you'd make a comment about it, but
No, I'm a big fan of the FanDuel production you guys do. Yeah, I tune in. I don't know if I watch every Kings game, but if I catch an intermission, I'm going to tune in and watch.
well,
watch you do your
Patrick
thing.
O'Neill, he's
Yeah.
great. It's fun to work with Patty.
He's
He's the best. He's a legend. He's been doing it for years, and definitely makes it easy on me.
Yeah. Well, what can you expect in Game 2 here, Stoley, babe? Obviously, Game 1, right? The Kings had it under control for 42 minutes.
Yeah.
Then McDavid, we were just talking about before we jumped on air. But what are you expecting? Kane back in, Klingberg back in. How are you feeling from the Kings' perspective?
I have no idea what's going to happen, to be honest with you. Like, Edmonton had all that momentum at the end of the game, right? And the Kings ended up getting that goal and winning the game. So we all know how it is with playoffs, and every game the momentum swings.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, right? It's 1-0 Kings, yes, but nobody has the momentum right now. So I'm hoping that the Kings come out and just take it to them. Take it to them, get after them, get on the forecheck, get on these D. The Kings have way more depth, I believe. And it's not just because I work for the team. I think they have way more depth. And if they're going to load up the big boys and go together, which sounds like they're going to do, then I think that it favors the Kings a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah, I saw McDavid, Draisaitl, Perry. I think I saw that
Yes,
this morning.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Worm. Throw Worm up
Good
there.
for him getting
yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Get to the net, Paris.
Yeah, that's all he does.
What a year, though. He almost had, did he have 20?
Yeah, he got
Almost.
close. I think he had
19 or
like
20.
17 or 18.
17,
He almost
Yeah,
got 20.
Yeah.
Fine
Not bad at
wine.
39.
Just get to the net. Just get to the net. Yeah, I'm with you though. Like I said, for 42 minutes there, the Kings had it under control, and if they would have went home after winning 4-0, I think the Oilers might have been maybe like, oh fuck, we're in one. But now after them coming back, I think it's important for the start for the Kings.
Yep.
Like get the lead again, play your game, because I think if the Oilers get ahead here, maybe they could put up another 6 spot or whatever.
I also think discipline. Like the Kings only took 2 minors in game 1.
It's huge.
They can't go 3 or 4.
Yeah.
3 or 4 times in the box. I think that's too much, really. 2 or under. I know Darryl would always tell us 3 or less, but tonight it might be 2 or less.
You guys took more than 3 a night, didn't you? Didn't you?
30 draws.
Stoll took a slash.
draws,
Fucking Greener took a hook, and Dewey took it.
Three for 3.
I took a slash for
Stoll at least slashed somebody a couple times out there. I know
Stoll,
that.
let me ask you this: like, as you were a shutdown guy your whole career, how do you shut McDavid down? I know you can't really do it, but what was your strategy be? I'm just curious.
Take him out the night before the game.
Do you check him in the offensive zone, or like?
I just think, and what I said on air the
Stop
other
rushing
night
to
is
him?
like, you just got to, even in the neutral zone, just
Clip him.
give him bumps, get on his hip, let him know that somebody is beside him, or feel somebody, right? You don't have to cross check him, but you should every once in a while.
Spear
To be
him.
honest with you, but
Give him a spear.
and if there's scrums, like, get these guys pissed off. Like, they were getting pissed off, to be honest with you. Draisaitl and McDavid, halfway through the game, they had 6 or 8 shots or whatever, and they were getting frustrated, and then they get back in the game. But you can't run at them. Once they get body position on you,
You're done.
Draisaitl, they're both different kind of. Like, Draisaitl's so big, he can overpower you with the body position, and McDavid's so fast. So as soon as he gets a step on you off the hip, he's gone. And we saw that in game 1.
It's so true. It was the big Russian defenseman on blank right now for the Kings. Gavrikov. McDavid got one little, the hip on him and was gone. And Gavrikov is one of the best stick on puck body position guys in the league. And he was just caught a little bit in the corner, and boom, McDavid was
By
gone.
like a foot. Maybe,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It wasn't much. And
It's a tough tactic. Most guys, you can let them sleep. These guys, you cannot, you can't piss them off too much. And it's such a fine line. And you can't let them sleep too much, because then all of a sudden, boom.
they were sleeping for the first 2 periods, and so was I at home, being like, this series is over.
The
And then,
Kings, the first 2 periods, that's exactly how they played the whole year at home.
Yeah.
They just shut teams down. Teams didn't really have much. Not many shots. Not many inner slot shots. They just took it to them by their depth. Top 9 can score. They're all dangerous. Fourth line, does their job and hits, physical, energy. So
yeah.
What about the voodoo? I got to ask you about the voodoo pregame Korean, the harmonica stuff. What the hell is that, Stoll? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Can we get a little rock? It's coming back. Can we get a little rock and roll? But is there something behind the scenes there?
The Bon Jovi guy?
Yeah, a little Bryan Adams waking up the neighbors, or what? Come on.
They came early on in the year, and the crowd, sang, and it was
yeah.
really nice, and got some chills. It's kind of like they do in Canada now with singing the anthem. So, it's
Hey, Stoll, last one, we'll let you go, buddy. We don't want to keep you too long. We know you're a busy guy. But, coming in here today with these guys and coming back to crypto, still Staples to me. Like, I had the missing it, right? Like, you're here for all the home games. Do you still miss it, all 41 home games when you come here? Or does that ever get easier when you're at games more than we are?
Yeah, I know you miss them. For sure, those games, right? Those high-intensity, physical, great hockey games, whether it's 2-1 or 6-5, whatever. Like game 1 the other night, it was good in here. It was loud. Like, the atmosphere was really, really good right from the start. Crowd was in it, and the game was good. So, yeah, those are the times you miss it for sure.
No, Staples would rock. I mean, when we played you guys, I reminded Richie when we were walking in there with the Stanley Cup ring on. I'm like, don't forget who beat you in 6 in this barn here, Vancouver, LA. But the Staples fans were louder than Van in that series. I'm like, we left here being like, wow, these LA fans are, and that's right when you guys were starting your, to turn into the team you were, and this barn can get going, as you guys both know.
Yeah.
So just one more quick one. This team reminds me a lot of our team in 2012, to be honest.
They don't go out as much. They don't go out as much. Hey, those Springer vans to Hollywood.
That's probably won't get it done.
Might be the most important difference.
Does it to you at all a little bit?
Yeah.
Like with the depth and the goaltending and the way you guys really keep everything on the outside?
Yeah, no, for sure. And every time you look at the inner slot shots and the scoring chances, they've all favored the Kings most nights, and the defense are so good with their sticks. Like Gavrikov, Mikey Anderson, Edmonton, Dewey, those 4 in particular. I'm so impressed with those guys, like how their sticks are, and they intercept passes, they get ticks on everything. And then the depth is probably the deepest that I've seen it here in a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
Those top 9. They are
legit.
dangerous. Like I said, they're legit. They're dangerous. Fiala's up top of his game. Byfield. This Kuzmenko.
That was going to be my last one for you, Kuzmenko, because when they pulled the trigger on Kuzmenko, Richie's like, I'm like, he's going to help the power play a little bit. I didn't think he'd be this good, though, in your defense, because he stunk the joint out in Vancouver and Calgary, but nice fit for you guys.
His first 7 games, though, he didn't have a point. He kind of struggled a little bit, and he was with Kopi and Kempe, and they kept him. And then he got that first goal. I forget what game it was. He scored, and then boom, he's gone. And I'm impressed, Richie. Like, I know you had your opinion on him, but I'm impressed with how hard he battles and competes.
Good guy too, right? Supposed to be a good guy.
Great guy, funny, always laughing. His interviews are awesome.
Yeah.
But they're just having fun. Like, you can tell Kopi and Kempe, like, they got to be ready. That puck could be coming at any time. Like, this guy makes plays, but he's competing and battling, which that's the most thing I'm impressed about the most.
The last thing, the power play in game one was lethal, huh? Like, I mean, with Kuzmenkov down there on the low post, Kempe up top, it was just, they seemed to be coming down lower and just like ding, 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 and it was just...
5 forwards is a big difference.
Yeah.
That switch to that, like, the last 2 games, maybe 2 or 3 games.
5 forwards, eh?
5 forwards.
That's a nice touch.
I don't like that as a D-man.
Get the D out of there.
Because that means the top 2 D-men are going back out after the next shift, so I go down the total. I'm not getting another shift till...
You're right.
I need someone to take a penalty. Stoll, take a hook. All right, here you come. You know,
and just to foreshadow on the signing of Edmondson, like
I love that guy.
for this series alone,
Yeah.
what a pickup for what they need and what they haven't had in the last 4 years. A guy that can handle minutes and handle playing fucking
A cocksmith.
tough hockey.
A cocksmith.
Good, no,
He's a big guy, always in the way.
Big guy, and
Good
he's been
looking,
there.
I
He's
meant
been
good
there,
looking.
Been
champ.
there,
Like,
yeah, and he'll play mean and tough, and that's
Yeah.
the thing that the last 3 years against Edmonton, I'm not going to lie,
Stunk.
didn't play him hard enough.
Yeah.
Didn't play him hard enough. Didn't really piss him
What
off.
a signing, though.
Didn't
It's
really
a
piss him
great.
off.
I mean, for this moment,
And
what a
like
signing.
Gavrikov is annoying these guys already, and Edmonton same thing, and Dewey's Dewey, and he does his thing. But no, it's this is a whole new series. I know it's game 1 and stuff. It's early, but it's different.
Stoll, you're the man. We could do this all night with you, but we
Yeah,
know
we
you got
could.
commitments, buddy. Thank you.
bud.
You're always
Love you,
looking.
bud.
This is a national
Love you
leaguer.
guys,
If
too.
anyone's wondering what a national leaguer looks like, that's one right there.
Class.
Thank you, Stoll,
Hey,
baby.
boys.
Thank you.
Love you all.
Fellas, welcome back to the Missin Curfew Fella Tour pregame show. Updog Jay Swish and the legend. This guy knows how to sell the game here.
And dress.
I'm checking
And
his
dress.
notes for all those nice sayings he has and puts them together. He does it for 82 plus a year. Yeah. There it is. Gene
How are
Principe.
ya?
Gene, thank you for joining us.
Fucking tickling it.
Did you just bring a harmonica on set?
Yeah, well,
Good.
I have before. This is obviously anyone who watched Game 1 of the series. I mean,
know.
that was
This voodoo type stuff.
it was incredible. The Korean Senior Community Center harmonica players were like the big story, almost bigger than Danault's last-minute goal. So I've got a harmonica. You never know.
You never know.
They might need me, so I'm prepared. I can't play anything. Can any of you play the harmonica?
Larry Flowers can play the harmonica. Larry Flowers can play the harmonica. He,
can,
really
actually.
can. He really
He gets
can.
a little Bob Seger
He
going.
pulled it out
a little
one
Tom
night. I'm like,
Petty. Yeah.
I was like, "There's no way you can play that." He's like, and he started snapping it around. I was like, "Unbelievable." Gene, let's start here, buddy. You guys do a great job with Rogers Sports. You guys are awesome. You've seen McDavid come up through the whole thing. We were talking earlier about what he did in Game 1, how he just took that game over. Like, does that even surprise you anymore? It surprised me for a guy who watched lots of those games, but for you, what did you think?
You know, I remember meeting McDavid in Sunrise, Florida, the day before the draft, and ironically, we were lined up at the hotel, and there was one, front desk employee there, and I was kind of in a line, and he was in a line, but there wasn't a line. We were just standing separately. So he says, "Who's next?" I'm like, "Well, he's next." He's like, "Oh, no, you go." And I'm like, "No, you go. You're going to be first overall." "No, you go." So finally, that I ended up going, and that was my first meeting with him. And I remember when he was at his development camp, we went live all across the country, and we were interviewing at that time former Kings coach and Oilers coach Todd McClellan. It's been a big deal. And that's understating. It's been a huge deal since Connor kind of arrived. And the one thing I'll say about Connor, no, it doesn't surprise me. I think what we don't see, what people don't see is a thirst, a drive, a motivation to be the best. And that's not just the best player, but that's being the best player on the best team in hockey. So it was crushing last year. So I wasn't surprised that he, other than drive the bus back, he did everything for the Oilers in Game 1.
Gene, I want to shift gears here a little bit because I'm a guy that rocks a little bit of a curly mop myself. And I put my concoction is a little gel. It's almond butter and a little 87 unleaded, just pure gasoline. So I wanted to ask you, what's the concoction? Is it feathered? Because it's feathered than lethal, man.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. This originally my plan was and has been for the last few years. I cut my hair the day before opening night.
Yep.
And I coached my daughter's soccer team back in Edmonton, and I couldn't go that night. So I didn't cut it for opening night, which was October 9th at home against Winnipeg. So then October turned into November, December, January, February, March. And then I decided I'm going to cut it the day after the regular season. Now, the Oilers didn't go home. They finished in San Jose and then stayed. And so I didn't really know where to go cut it. So you can come up with lots of excuses. So I put a ton of product in it.
Yeah.
It's tough to decide how much is too much and and what's too little.
Right.
But I can tell when it's windy what's not enough.
Yeah, I know.
That's the big difference.
Yeah.
Is
Big
when
time.
it's windy, you're like, there's not enough product,
Yeah.
probably even in Los Angeles, to get this thing to sit right.
And Schmaltzy, unlike you, he survived an Alberta winter with his
Yeah.
hair too.
Yeah. I was
gonna
that's
say.
that's some
Kidding.
minus 40 weather on the back of that curls
yeah. Oh,
there.
yeah. No, I love it in the winter, and for so many of your viewers, Alberta is beautiful in the summer. I mean, it does get into the 90s in Fahrenheit, 30s in Celsius. Not overly humid, but beautiful. Long days. Golf till 10 or 11 at night. So I do like to have it short.
Yeah.
I think it's going to get cut after the first round.
Is it? I was gonna say because it's thick, man. Like
Yeah.
if you were playing in, you couldn't find a ball in there. That's like U.S. Open, like rough. Fuck, you got a nice salad.
Hey, you get to fluff it up though.
Yeah.
Hey, you get the little
The
foot wedge
mornings
there.
are a bit rough.
Yeah.
My wife, God bless her, because she does share a bed with me, but I'm not sure, first thing in the morning anybody wants to see me because it's all over
Yeah.
the place. But it's amazing due to shows like this, due to being on TV, due to social media, how much attention something like this can get over what you actually do for a living. So what about your hair? You get people saying, hey, I don't mean to be rude, but do you have a mirror? Or you don't look too bad, but boy, there's a clown missing his nose. And so people send all kind of notes to try and be nice, but they're quite succinct in what they want me to do, and that's cut my hair.
They sound jealous to me, Gene. They sound jealous, bud. They sound jealous.
GEL. Right? Jealous, yeah. I mean, that's why people say, why do you grow it? Because I can. I'm 58 years old.
Yeah.
I got hair. The one thing is when it gets to be like this is, more and more gray, which is
That's
a little
okay.
bit of a challenge to cover, but maybe it makes me a little more distinguished. So I like it, and usually Sportsnet will eventually say, okay, it's time.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, Gene, you're known to come out with some extraordinary outfits or,
Lines.
profiles or lines, but is there maybe something you've kept in the back of your pocket or back of your sleeve here? Like if, say the Oilers got down 2-0 going back home or something. Is there something you're going to pull out for the boys that you haven't yet? Or is it something like you're like, hey, this is for a special time?
Yeah, for sure. There are things that, a lot of people ask me, where do these ideas come from? And sure, some do come from me. They come from my crew. They come from my family. They come from fans. Someone might say, hey, how about doing this? And then someone says, well, what about if we add this to it? And then it's kind of like a hockey team.
Yeah.
Everybody sort of adds, right, to it. And that's kind of what happens with my openings. I love doing them.
You're so good at them.
Well, I appreciate that. Trust me, I'm getting ready to go on camera going, what am I doing? You're wearing
That's
hot
me
dogs.
every day in the studio, bud. I'm like, what am I doing?
And you got Louie and Jack, who, by the way, they're the best team. You guys are the best team,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
got them in your ear probably going, I can't wait to see this.
Well,
right?
and then when we do we usually do just like a little dry run just to get everyone, cameras, director,
Little dry
everybody
rub.
kind of on board.
Little New York aged, 28-day aged, yeah.
And then I don't do what I'm going to do, but then when we do it for real, then I do it. But it's a collaboration. It really is a team. People see Louis, Jack, and myself when you're watching Oiler broadcasts. We have a crew of probably 30 people that work with us. So there's a lot of people, as you have with you, the crew, that you can't do it on your own. And so many team analogies apply to television as they do to what you guys do.
Gene, I want to ask you, like before the Four Nations break, which we all agree was unbelievable for hockey, but the way that McDavid and especially Draisaitl was playing heading into that break, to me, it looked like the Oilers were ready to get back to the Stanley Cup final again and try to, win that one game that they couldn't win. And then the injuries down the stretch, and the back end's a little banged up, and the Ekholm news. Like, I guess where I'm going, Gene, is nobody really knows what to expect. We all know what happened in Game 1. For a guy who's covered the team, what's their attitude, or what's the temperature of the team? Do they believe?
Yeah, I think it's natural to ask that. In fact, it's a very good question because of all those things you listed that have happened to Edmonton in the last, I guess, 6 weeks or so. I mean, it was a run of injuries that I can't say that I've seen a team in this sport and such a high-level team go through all that basically at the same time to so many really good, top-notch players, not only on their team but in the entire league. So they do believe. I think when you're getting to where they want to get, you got kind of, sometimes you're thinking big picture, then you're thinking small picture. I think before the series started, You're thinking, okay, we got to, this is 25%. You lose game 1, now all you're worried about is game 2. You guys have all been there. So, and with Connor as a leader and Leon as a leader, I just see this team understands what it takes. They've been there, heartbroken, and ready to do it again. But nobody steps aside for you. And if anything, I'm not sure teams could be more prepared for Edmonton these playoffs than last, but I think they are, considering how far they went.
Gene, Shane and I were at Game 7, almost to the tip of the mountain, the place that Connor and Leon, all of Edmonton.
Gene, I had the Panthers. I'm sorry. I had the Panthers. I'm sorry.
But by the way, Fort McMurray, pride of Fort McMurray.
Who you were calling.
He was crying.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I had my orange. I was bleeding orange at the time. Game 1's already happened. We're here for Game 2. Is their foot already in the water of being back in the playoffs? Do you think they were so close to where they wanted to be last year and a goal away, and now there's game 1, they're banged up. Do you see the mentality like we can step on the gas and get this game back to where it needs to be?
I think you're right. And you guys, I always refer to you guys because you've been in those rooms and been in those situations. And for sure, I saw Connor. It was funny. We interviewed him before the game, and I asked him, I think, 4 or 5 questions before game 1, and I think his answers totaled maybe $1.15. He was just kind of like, I'll do this. I understand, but like I'm at the rink and I'm like pure business right now, and I'm 100% focused. And Connor's like that, and Leon's like that, and so I think they understand that it's time to step up. And a lot of people would be like, well, it's just game 2, and it's never a series until, what do they say, the home team loses for the first time. But first of all, again, back to the big picture. Do they want to go 7-7? They want to get through as fast as they can. Now, I just want to make this clear for anyone watching from the Kings. It doesn't mean they think they're going to just roll over the Kings.
No, they got their hands full.
They got their hands full. The Kings have been, that's a really good hockey team, but they're thinking, let's get through this. Let's beat these guys. Let's be healthy. Let's try and do it in as few games as possible, and then we'll see what's next.
Gene, you're a poet in your own right, and the puns you use are unbelievable. And one of my favorite ones that because the thing about you is it seems like you're always having fun, at least up there, and that's what I think is so colorful to the listeners, the viewers. But I think my favorite pun you've had, and you could maybe say it stacks up with one of your favorites as well, is you were dressed as a hot dog one night back in 2011.
Yeah.
And you I think it was only for a pregame segment, but you carried it throughout the game, and you ended up interviewing assistant coach at the time, Kelly Buckberger.
It was in Boston.
And
Bucky.
You came out and you started with, I think this is the first time a hot dog's ever interviewed a burger. So that had to be some of your finest work, no?
I remember that. It was an afternoon game, and I also remember local boy Fernando Pisani had just come back from a back injury after 13 games, and the Oilers PR guy said, Fernando, come over here and talk to Gene. So Fernando, first game back, first period, he's struggling a bit. He hasn't played a bit. He comes around the corner and looks at me and goes, are you kidding me? And I'm like, sorry, Fernando. So that is one of my favorites. One of my favorite openings was Todd McClellan when he was a coach in Edmonton, and we did a segment called The Todd Father. Yeah. And I had a guy playing the trumpet, the opening to The Godfather, and the whole Godfather look. That's one of my favorites. In fact, another tie into the Kings, Dustin Penner, one of my favorite puns. Segments was, do you remember when Dustin hurt himself getting pancakes?
Yeah, I sure do. I sure do.
So he hurt himself getting pancakes, and so he came back, and I really enjoyed Dustin. And so we were talking about it on air, and I said, hurt himself, and since he's come back, things haven't gone that well. He's craped the bed. So I appreciate that because, you do them, and sometimes you're like, you don't want to be doing it just for you. You're trying to do it for the viewers and the listeners. So, but I have a ton of fun doing it, and it stems from 2006 when the Oilers lost in Game 7 to Carolina. They came back, Chris Pronger, traded, gone. The team really struggled, and I'm like, geez, people come home at night at 7 o'clock local time. They turn on the TV. They don't want to hear about a bad power play or a 6-game losing streak. So how are we gonna find positive nuggets and kind of expand on them? And so that's kind of how it started. Here we are, not quite 20 years later, still doing it, and I'll keep doing it till someone says stop.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Gene, thank you so much for taking the time. We know you're busy, and you're definitely a glue guy. We have a little glue guy segment at Missin. If you were in a dressing room, you'd be a glue guy. You're great for the game. Continue doing it, and Me and the Updog, all three of us actually are on the Oil tonight, so hopefully they can get it done.
Okay, perfect.
Richardson's taking the Kings because he's got a Stanley Cup ring on, but
Yeah,
we
I
got
see
the
it.
Oilers, buddy. So thank you. Keep up the great work, my
Appreciate it,
man.
boys. Okay, thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
thanks,
Thank
Gino.
you, Gino.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you,
Great
brother.
to see
Thank you, man.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Fellas, the Missin Curfew Fella Tour pregame show rolls on here. Boys are a couple cocktails deep. Not enough yet, eh, Rich?
Not enough.
But we got Larry Flowers. Buddy, this is I'm not gonna lie. You get this in Aspen all the time. You're
That's an
spending in
Aspen
Aspen or what? What is this? This is nice, man.
I'm trying to step my game.
Hold
up
that
just a
close
little
to those
bit. I'm trying
teeth of
step
yours.
on my game just a little bit. I'm trying to step my game up a little bit. Have a little bit more style than a black T-shirt every night.
Yeah.
But hey,
Is that a shot?
what is
We're
that?
all wearing
Shot
black.
across the bow there, bud.
Kings go.
I got the leather jacket and the sprint
No,
daddy ready for after the
look at-
game.
You're cheering for the Kings tonight, and you got oil colors, bud. You got orange and blue.
What do you want me to do?
And you sell jewelry to Connor McDavid. I can't believe you're a trader.
I am, but
You're
I've
such a trader.
sold a lot of jewelry to LA Kings guys as well. Listen, honestly, first of all, thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
It's been a long
Yeah,
time.
of
Yeah.
course, bud. Of course.
I'm excited to be here. I think this is going to be a great match. I like the Kings. I know you were saying that.
That's it.
I
That's
like
it.
the Kings. I think the Kings tonight. I just think they're better.
You're a
Better up and
terrible
down.
gambler.
No, I'm.
You're a
I've been
terrible-
on
Great
fire, by
gambler.
the way. I've been on fire with my gambling.
I was till
think-
last night. I took it on the chin, as
I,
Jay Smith
I
would say.
think the Kings are better overall. I really do. I think you shut down two guys. I just don't know how Edmonton wins the series.
What about Evander Kane come back in the lineup? Does that scare you at all? Evander Kane come back in?
I think that's the right move for them.
It's the only fucking move.
It's the right move for them, but I just don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think everyone would probably say the Kings are the favorite right now, but while we got you here, I know obviously the pride of Philadelphia. Congrats on the Birds.
Hey,
Go
thank
Birds.
I hate that coach, but congrats. You earned it. I told you Jalen Hurts when they brought him in, he was the guy, so you're welcome. I told you that. But let's talk about your Flyers. Obviously fired our boy John Tortorella. Michkov had a great year. We were talking about the Eastern Conference, and listen, we all agree hockey's better when the Flyers are in the playoffs. As a diehard guy, what do you think? How many years away? What are your thoughts on your squad?
I mean, I think they're 2-3 years away for sure, but I do like what they're doing. Apparently, they got a great locker room. Michkov's going to be a good player. I've been up and down on Michkov. Like in the beginning of the season, I thought he was great. He shows a lot of, he can move the puck. He's got great vision. He can snap it for sure. And then I kind of started to think that maybe he's a little slower than I thought, but he's one of those guys that he looks a little slow when he skates, but he's not. He's powerful.
Yeah.
And he's a great player, and I think their core in the locker room is good. I think they need some pieces. I told you last night, I hope they go after Kaprizov after next year.
Yeah, I know. I kind of stole your line. I agree with you, though. We've talked about that earlier.
He won't get there. He won't get
I
there.
don't know if Billy
good
Garrett will
luck.
let him, but
Good luck. Pipe dream.
But they're a few free agents away from like.
where'd
making
you
a
rather
big
play,
splash.
Minnie or Philly? It's fucking pick your poison.
Philly's good though, man.
Yeah,
They're-
Philly-
they're-
well,
there's
I
no
don't.
better-
Buddy. Listen,
Losing in Philly sucks.
Yeah,
Totally.
Flowers.
But winning there
Who's
is
their
great.
core though? I don't know who their core is. You'd have to tell me who that is. I wouldn't.
I can look it up here.
I wouldn't
Stand
be able
by.
to know.
Stand by.
Konechny,
I'm wondering from a fan who is their core. I don't know.
Konechny, Sanheim.
Fly Eagles fly. That's right.
So
just traded
So
away
listen,
Frost.
listen.
That's a
the-
tough
listen,
core.
Their core,
You
no,
only get two
their
guys.
core guys would be Michkov, obviously, Owen Tippett,
Yeah, Tippett. Yeah.
Konechny, Bobby Brinks.
That's
Back
a
up
core
the
guy.
Brinks
Sounds
truck.
like a porn
Yeah,
star.
no, this is a thin fucking
everyone's
group
a good
here.
player.
Yeah, but they got
Is,
some
it,
money.
is, is your captain a core player?
No, they're going to be able to make some moves. They're going to have some money to spend. Briere's been a little tough. He's getting a lot of heat right now in Philly.
Yeah. Why?
Just I don't know. People are just they're not on him. They're not.
His first year.
He hasn't-
Let-
I know.
let me ask you this before.
They're just hard on everybody.
We love DB. He's been great. Up, he got him on. And we love Keith Jones. That guy's. I trusted Keith Jones and Danny B. But were you happy to see Torts go, or
I
do you
was-
think it was time? Or I thought they were playing pretty hard under him.
I was not. Listen, I love Torts. I've spoken to you guys who've played with him, who've told me that they loved him. I feel like a good hard coach that clearly cares. I've always liked those kind of coaches when I was young. I thought they got the most out of me. Maybe it's a different league now.
I would love to see you play for John Tortorella.
I don't know if you have it in
Yeah,
your
yeah,
Hey,
I would
you'd
love to
sleep
see
in
that.
for your first.
I would love to
skate.
see.
My favorite coach in my youth, Jerry Domish, was the biggest prick. Tough coach to play for. He drove me out. I'll tell you the truth.
Flowers, get a fucking bike ride in.
He was
Put the
really-
cheesesteak
But he
down.
got the most out of me. He got
Yeah.
the most, and I feel like Torts is that kind of guy. And if I was a pro hockey player, I'd like to play for Torts.
I feel like we did that for you off the ice. We got the most out of you that you could get out.
Yeah.
We brought the most out you could, right, Flowers?
I think the Flyers are going to be on their way. They're about 2-3 years out. We'll see what kind of moves they make, but
Okay. Hey, listen.
they're fun to watch. They play hard. We'll see.
Now that I've lifted your suspension, you haven't been on Missin Curfew for a few years. Now that you're back, we'll get you back down to the Missin Curfew Lounge. We got to run. We got to wrap.
Yeah,
but listen.
Sorry, one more thing. I want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say it's Mother's Day around the corner. You get any specials for the listeners out there? What, you got a website?
When's
what do you
Mother's
got?
Day?
Fucking
Fucking Mother's Day.
It's Mother's
You
Day
have
around the
changed.
corner.
Hey, Mother's Day around the corner. What's the day here? He doesn't even know. What day is it today? Ups.
That's in 2 weeks.
Did you know that it was Mother's Day? Sorry, Roxy.
I did. Yeah, I always know.
Oh, yeah, you're smart.
No, but flowers. Well,
No, it's Mother's Day. And you know what? I was just telling Richie.
Is this watch real?
The funny thing about dealing with the boys is right before any birthday, Mother's Day, Christmas, I just get a bum rush 1-2 days before.
Panic
All
orders.
the boys are like, I forgot to get my girl something. Help me, flowers. You gotta help
That's
me.
when you
I'm
really
like,
rip
okay,
them
now
off.
Take care. Now I'm really gonna take advantage.
Where's
Yeah,
get
yeah.
rid of those CZs.
Hey, now you got him, right? You're like, this
Yeah.
is where I make my money.
Exactly. Guys, thanks for having me on again.
No, you're
flowers,
obviously
they're
part of the
beauty.
family, buddy. Let's go enjoy this game and let's catch a buzz, boys.
Go Kings, go.
Yeah, come on, Oil.
Full creamer.